There are a lot of ways to build a family, and National Adoption Month highlights one of them.
Our Michelle Lee is a Korean adoptee, and this morning she's here with us to share your story. I'm excited to hear about this.
I'm nervous. Good morning. So I just want to say, I know a lot of Korean adoptees out there, so big shout out to all those who might be watching. It's funny because we don't, ask to be adopted, and sometimes it's really hard to talk about that during a month that celebrates adoption. So I've never talked about it on TV, but I know that I can say my life has been enriched because of adoption, because I've had the rare opportunity to actually see both sides.
It seemed like you were the baby we should have.
If you ask my mom, God always had a plan for me.
I know it's been hard for you.
Born without a name and given a 6-digit number, I eventually landed in Missouri just as I turned 6 months old.
The only thing I can say is we love you with all our heart.
And I was born in their hearts. My parents, Charles and Sharon, raised me like every other country kid, where cowboy boots and bonnets seemed to go hand in hand. I think my perm said it all.
Hi, today is July 2nd, Korea time.
But it was a trip to Korea with an adoption agency that changed our lives in ways we could never expect. By accident, I found my birth mother, my birth father, and 3 full-blooded sisters.
That was hard.
That was hard. I didn't know if I was scared or what. I just sort of lost.
Because you are our only child.
In Korea, though, I was child number 3.
My birth mother was able to keep it a secret from my father because he was away at sea on a ship.
They were poor and they already had 2 girls, so she told him I had died at birth. And when he returned, she got pregnant again. This set in motion several more trips back and forth, including a traditional Korean wedding with my husband Jim, and 2 where my 2 moms got to meet.
You'll come back. You'll come back.
And then one day, my second oldest sister Hyunjung decided to move to Seattle.
Yeah, that's shocking.
Yeah, she's a sweetie.
Much of our story is still unwritten.
We are celebrating Korean culture. I have my sister here. She's cooking for us, and hopefully you guys will get a taste.
But there is plenty of gratitude and love, and for me, a bittersweet reality that I am exactly where I need to be.
What's it like for you to be in the United States, living with your birth sister that you didn't grow up with?
Actually, I feel like I have the best friend in my life now.
Really?
Thank you. I wasn't expecting you to say that. That's sweet.
What a story, Michelle. I mean, I remember when I first met you, you were actually very open about telling me about your story, and I was just floored. I couldn't believe it. And I'm so glad that you're sharing it, really. I mean, it's a very unique story. Yeah.
Thank you. It's so weird to see it because I wrote it.
Yeah.
But then to see it, it just makes my heart is like pitter-pattering so hard right now because, adoption touches a lot of people, and it's not always, like you saw the 2-minute version that's kind of like nice and neat and kind of upbeat. But it's, tomorrow I might have a really depressing day about it.
There's a lot of emotions tied to that. It's not, the fact that you were able to meet your birth mom and that you have such supportive parents who raised you, you think that would be like the perfect combination, right?
Yeah.
But there's still a lot of emotion that goes along with being adopted, right?
Oh, for sure, because it impacts every corner of your life,
And your identity and who you are.
And what you're doing in your life. So if you're getting married, you start thinking about all these things and how your life would be different, or if you're trying to have a baby, or, all these big life moments, and then adoption kind of filters into that. And you think that, meeting your birth family offers some closure, and it does, but it also opens this huge can of worms. So it's like this much closure and this much can of worms, but.
Like you said, your story is still not fully written, so I'm glad we get to be a part of this chapter.
I'm glad too, and I'm so glad that I'm here because, I wouldn't get to have this life. I wouldn't know you if I were in Korea.
That's true.
You're part of our family too.
Come here, bring it in.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. Well, we can continue to look at adoptions this morning. We've got Joyce Taylor with a really important organization. Joyce, you've been covering this organization for a very long time.